Edwina Gaines is a marvelous author around the whole tithing thing. And by the way, Reverend Paulette, I don't know that I've ever shared this with you, but when I started my new ministry, Education for Abundant Living, the very first tithing check I ever received was yours.
Oh, no.
Johnny on the spot there. And when your letter came with that check, I took that, I immediately went into prayer after I shared it with my staff. And I said, wow, this is such an affirmation for the power of the work that we are doing in the world. So let me just circle back and say, gracias, my friend. Impact on us.
Oh, that's amazing how it circulates.
Exactly. Edwina Gaines is, a wonderful author and is noted for her opinions about tithing. And we had her out at Mile High Church in Lakewood for a talk this year. And I was delighted to watch as she interfaced with questions from the audience as to her no-nonsense response to people's questions. And there were the regular questions like, do I tithe on gross or net? Do I tithe on just my salary or really on anything coming in? I'm selling a house. Do I tithe on that profit? Or if I tithed all along, haven't I really covered that? So you can just feel by the comments, you can feel by the questions that the real point of tithing might have been lost.
Yes.
She would zero right in on that and give wonderfully direct answers to it. What I took away from that evening with her is that it's not about any of those questions. It's not about any of that. It's not about the dollar amount. It's not about the on gross or net. That's not the game being played. The game that's being played, if you will, is what's the consciousness behind a person's deep motivation to tithe of any amount. The amount is so irrelevant, and we get hung up on that. But what if tithing is a representation of my consciousness? What is that consciousness that allows me to tithe without hesitation, with joy and abundance? And I don't care if I'm tithing on gross or net. Now, Edwina Gaines would disagree with that. Mm-hmm. But I'm simply making the point that if we can work not on what is the dollar amount I'm supposed to give, but what's the consciousness that I can have that would allow me to give in the first place.